But let's start with my top 10 and the teams that almost made my top 10. Okay, Oklahoma State, after that loss, they dipped out. Pittsburgh, I see you coming with Kenny Pickett. Notre Dame wins again. Kentucky, off of that loss to Georgia after the off week, they're still sitting there right outside of the top 10. So what does it look like inside of my top 10? Well, we're going to start at the bottom with Iowa. Iowa is going to sit in there. They're 6-1 after the off week. They've got Wisconsin this week in a game in which they are actually dogs. So we'll see if they can stay there. And as we continue to move up, Ole Miss is going to be number 9. Lane Kiffin's got it going down there. Listen, I love Matt Corral. I like a lot of things that they're doing. At number 8, this is where some of the surprises are going to creep up. I've got Cincinnati at 8. I moved them way down, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. At number 7, I've got Oregon. Oregon staying up there after some of these close wins. That win against UCLA was terrific in the Rose Bowl. At number 6, I've got Michigan State, a little higher than what the AP has from Mel Tucker's group. At number 5, I have got Oklahoma. They're moving down after that poor performance against Kansas. At number 4, I've got Michigan. That was an easy win against Northwestern. At number 3, I've got Alabama. 2, I've got Ohio State. I'm sure I'm going to have to talk about that a little bit because that's on the way up for Ryan Day. And at number 1, everybody knows that's going to be Georgia. Let's start with this. When I look at putting together the top 10, the first thing I do is I see a clear point of demarcation between 3 and everybody else. Georgia, Ohio State, and Alabama, to me, when I watch them, are the 3 best teams in college football, regardless of what's going on with record or what happened on the field. Hurts a little bit because I know that Oregon beat Ohio State, and I'm a guy that believes that the game on the field has to matter. But as for right now, Ohio State's going to stay up there. Now, from 4 to 9, these are very interchangeable, and you've got to slot them in somewhere, and there's got to be some reason. Michigan, they've been dominant enough running the football. They're the number 2 scoring defense in the country, so they got the bump. Oklahoma continues to play one-possession games and playing down to their opponent. They will play to their opponent level regardless of who they're playing. So they went down to number 5. Michigan State, they stood right here at 6. I still love what they're able to do. They're not great defending the pass. That's one of the reasons I kind of knocked them down, or if you will, slotted them at 6. Oregon just continues to win, all right? And this is a team, although they lost to Stanford, that is getting healthier and I think a little bit better. Anthony Brown is a guy that played his best game against UCLA. Kayvon Thibodeau, his best game against UCLA. Cincinnati is a team that I don't see the dominance. If you're going to play a schedule as poor as Cincinnati's, when you take a look at the overall landscape of college football, if you're going to play a group of 5 schedule, you better dominate. I'm a big school snob. I'm sorry. I'm biased about that. You can't have a one-possession win against Navy in which you're holding on after they get an onside kick. You know, and so from there, you know, that's kind of where it settles out. Now let me sit on Ohio State for just a moment. Ohio State right now is playing the second best football in all of college football, okay? They were not good defensively to start the year. We all saw that in the loss against Oregon. But if you take a look at the way that they've evolved and what they've done to fix those problems, they are clearly right now the second most dangerous team in the country. In the last 4 games, Ohio State, they're the second-ranked scoring defense in the country and the second-ranked yards per play defense in the country. Now, they have not faced a tough gamut during those 4 games, but the defense has clearly improved. Also in those 4 games, they're averaging over 50 points per game offensively. Since you had C.J. Stroud sit out because of his shoulder injury, he's come back in the last 3. He's thrown for over 340 yards a game in those 3 games. 14 touchdowns and no interceptions. Travion Henderson, almost 10 yards per carry. He scores a touchdown almost every 6 times he touches the ball. They've got the deepest and best receiving core in the country. Their offensive line is terrific. You see what I'm getting at. This team is starting to evolve into one of the most complete teams in the country. So everyone's asking me, why in the world is Ohio State the number 2 team in the country? Because they're playing the second best football in the country, and that's why I have them right there. And I think also that playoff committee next week when we start looking at the college football playoff rankings, I think they're going to love Ohio State as well. And they'll also give Oregon a nice big bump. And we'll get into should head-to-head matter at some point during the course of the next few weeks when we take a look at the college football playoff rankings as they start coming out next week and beyond.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.